This morning I was praying and I said something that I had to come back to and write down in my notes. And what I said in my prayer was, favor is a fact, not a feeling. And I don't even know what I was praying about when I said it, but I jotted it down. And then I immediately began to think of Elijah in First Kings chapter 17. So the chapter starts off where Elijah had pronounced a famine, and then he escapes out into the wilderness to this river that's called Kerith, and the ravens are providing for him, and there's water there, and then the brook, the river, it dries up. Favor is a fact, not a feeling. Now, Elijah, maybe he was in his feelings because the river dried up. Maybe like, God, there is a famine. Like, this water is not replenishing itself. The ravens have been bringing me food, but there's no more water there. Now, I might get in my feelings and begin to ask God, where is the favor that's supposed to be upon my life? But remember, God's favor is a fact, not a feeling. And then we see a little bit later in the chapter that God instructs Elijah to go and find a widow who will care for his needs. Well, then, if Elijah is still alive by the time he gets to the widow, then that means that God has still been providing for him water and nourishment despite the famine. That means that the favor is still upon his life. Listen, there are going to be moments in our lives, and there are going to be so many moments where we're going to look at where we are and say, there is no way that God's favor is resting upon me. But you cannot rest upon what you see and what you experience with your five senses. Knowledge of the favor of God does not rest in your emotions. It rests in the facts of the Bible. Because if God says that all things work together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose, that's fact. That means that God's favor is with you, whether life is good or whether life is bad. Whether you're on the mountaintop or the valley, whether your bank account is in the red or it's in the black, God's favor is upon you. Because it's a fact. And it's not a feeling. So live your life today knowing that you're favored by God because you're called and chosen and loved by God. And just walk in that fact today